Imagine discovering that living on $75,000 a year can give you more freedom than many jobs that pay twice as much. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's a reality most people never notice. Most people spend their entire lives believing they'll only be truly free once they make a lot of money. And because of that, they stay trapped in bosses, schedules, and routines that drain their energy. Today, I want to show you that there's another path, a path built on smart choices, financial structure, and a mindset that places freedom above luxury. And after years studying the financial behavior of people who actually achieve independence, one thing became clear. It's not the size of your salary that determines your freedom, it's the system you build around it. Get ready, because this video might flip a very important switch in your life. Perfect. I'll start the next part exactly within the rules. The truth is that many people who earn relatively well still feel like they're constantly chasing money. They work hard, do overtime, chase promotions, but none of it ever seems to be enough. And the reason is simple. The middle class is trapped in a silent cycle no one teaches you how to break. This cycle is fueled by three forces: lifestyle inflation, constant social comparison, and a complete lack of financial strategy. A person earns a little more, but also spends a little more. They see someone living at a higher standard and try to keep up, and before they realize it, their entire paycheck is committed just to maintain an image, not a life. That's the invisible problem, and it's exactly what we need to recognize before we talk about freedom. Perfect, staying exactly within the outline. The good news is that there's a clear path to turning a $75,000 salary into real freedom. And it doesn't depend on luck, promotions, or drastic changes, just strategic adjustments. In this video, you'll understand the 10 core pillars of this transformation, from controlling lifestyle, investing intelligently, automating decisions, and avoiding mental traps to building new income streams and developing a healthy relationship with money. All of these elements work together as a system. A lot of people believe they'll only achieve financial freedom once they're making over $100,000 a year. This idea is so common that it has almost become a cultural truth in the United States. But the reality is that the problem isn't the salary, it's the lifestyle that comes with it. $75,000 a year, when managed well, can provide stability, security, and plenty of room to build wealth. What stops people from seeing this is the pressure to live above what's necessary: bigger houses, more expensive cars, constant trips, subscriptions, and conveniences that drain their budget. When you let go of the belief that freedom requires a massive income, you open the door to something far more powerful: the ability to live well, invest consistently, and move toward independence, even with a completely attainable income. Perfect. Moving to the next chapter with the correct pacing. Most people associate financial freedom with big material achievements: luxury cars, huge homes, expensive vacations. But those who truly reach independence understand something very different. Real freedom begins when you prioritize control of your time, not your appearance. With $75,000 a year, this is completely possible. The key is replacing the desire to impress with the desire for peace. When you cut choices driven by status, you create space for the things that truly matter: more time for your family, flexibility, fewer debts, and a lighter lifestyle. This type of freedom doesn't depend on raises, it depends on mindset. And when you learn to put freedom before luxury, everything changes. Luxury creates a quick impact, but freedom creates a lasting one. And that shift is what opens the door to the next step. If you want to turn $75,000 into real freedom, the first step is to structure your lifestyle like a system, not a series of impulsive decisions. The foundation is simple: work with percentages instead of fixed numbers. This creates a stable pattern that grows with you. Here's an efficient model: 30% for housing, choose a home you can afford without stress; 10% for transportation, a reliable car, not a status symbol; 15 to 25% for investments, this is what builds your future; 10% for savings and emergencies, it protects you from debt; 25 to 35% for personal life, food, leisure, and experiences. This structure gives you something most people never have: conscious control over your money. It prevents lifestyle inflation, reduces emotional decisions, and creates predictability. When you organize your life this way, it doesn't matter how much things change, your system keeps working. And it's exactly this stability that creates space for the next level, removing the financial blocks that keep you from growing.
There's a silent habit almost no one talks about, but it determines who will thrive and who will stay stuck forever: the ability to make decisions without emotion. Most people make financial decisions the same way they decide what to eat on the weekend, impulsively. They see a sale and buy. They see someone making quick profit and invest. They see a friend getting a new phone and finance one too. But here's the hard truth. People who act on emotion lose money. People who act on logic build wealth. Those who prosper, the people who break past 100K, 500K, and beyond, do something that seems simple, but almost no one practices. They take a step back. They analyze. They breathe before deciding. This applies to everything, from a sketchy investment to buying a car you think you deserve. While most people think, I want this now, those who grow think, does this improve my life in the next few years or just in the next few minutes? That single question separates people who build wealth from people who build debt. And here's the interesting part. This habit doesn't require above-average intelligence. It only requires awareness, something anyone can develop, but few have the discipline to maintain. When you remove emotion from the equation, something powerful happens. You stop acting like a consumer and start acting like an investor. And that's when the game changes forever. Most people spend their lives believing that what will change everything is some unexpected extra money, a bonus, a raise, a sale, a sudden extra income. But here's a truth almost no one wants to accept. It's not extra money that makes you rich. It's what you do with the money you already have. You've probably seen this happen. Someone starts earning more, and like magic, they start spending more too. They upgrade their car. They upgrade their phone. They upgrade their lifestyle. But they don't upgrade their mindset. And here's the problem. If you can't manage $1,000, you won't manage $10,000. If you can't control $10,000, you won't control $100,000. A higher income doesn't automatically create wealth. It simply increases the consequences of your decisions. People who truly get rich do something simple but powerful when they earn more. They keep their lifestyle the same for a while and let the difference work for them. Poor people increase their lifestyle. Rich people increase their assets. And that's why so many people stay broke even when they earn well, because they confuse making more with having more. Extra money only works when you already knew what to do before it showed up. It's like pouring gasoline on a fire or on an engine. Most people create fires. A few create engines. And those few are the ones who build real wealth. Living on $75,000 a year isn't about living small. It's about living better. That number wasn't chosen randomly. Studies show that beyond this level, increases in happiness drop sharply. In other words, after a certain point, earning more doesn't improve your life. Using what you earn better does. And here's the core truth. $75,000 isn't enough to make you rich, but it's more than enough to give you choices that financially stressed people don't have. With this income level and a structured financial system, you can live comfortably without excess, eat well without luxury, travel without guilt, invest intelligently, and, most importantly, not depend on a boss's goodwill to survive. This is the stage where you can say no without fear, where you can avoid toxic environments, abusive schedules, and demands that destroy your mental health. Because now you already have a financial cushion, investments growing every month, a stable lifestyle, and complete clarity about your limits. And do you know what that gives you? Options. And options are the most tangible form of freedom you can have. Most people live in invisible prisons: bills, payments, debt, financing, lifestyle inflation, and because of that, they're forced to accept everything, including working for people who don't respect their time. When living on $75,000 with balance pulls you out of that prison. It's the first solid floor of independence. It's not absolute wealth. It's the kind of wealth that gives you control over your own path. And when you control your life, no one controls you. When you finally learn to live consciously, when your expenses are under control, and when you direct part of your income toward building assets, something changes inside you. You realize you don't have to beg for respect anymore. You don't have to tolerate abuse. You don't have to live afraid of being fired tomorrow. Because now you've built something most people never will. They have a financial system that works even when you're not working. That's the moment when the game flips. Real independence doesn't arrive when you have millions in the bank. It arrives when you have options. Options to say no to pointless meetings, to turn down offers that don't make sense, to walk away from a toxic job, to move to another city, to take a month off without your world falling apart, to choose who you work with and for how long. That is freedom. And no boss in the world can give you that, because freedom isn't handed to you, it's built. It's not about quitting your career. It's about reclaiming ownership of your life. When you live on $75,000 intelligently, invest consistently, and eliminate lifestyle inflation, you discover a powerful truth. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it buys time, and time buys life. And from that moment on, your life stops being a race to impress others and becomes a journey to build what truly matters to you. This is quiet independence, the kind real wealthy people cultivate, discreet, solid, and non-negotiable. The independence no boss can offer, but the independence you can create.